with the educated opinion on topics of all varieties. This your boy Bubba, and you already know what I'm about to say, right? You are listening to Bubba's Banter. Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your motherfucking boy. I ain't gotta say no names, right? But I am anyways. It's your boy Bubba, and you are watching and also listening to Bubba's Banter. I hope you guys are living well, feeling well. Welcome back to Bubba's Banter, where we banter on topics of all varieties with the educated opinion, of course. I hope you guys are living well, feeling well. I am doing good. I am doing great. Tonight's episode is going to be a follow-up episode from last episode, which was the straight man allure. But before we get into that, let's just, do the things that we gotta do. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Please make sure you do that. Give this video a thumbs up. Comment down in the section, y'all. I need y'all to comment. When y'all feeling something on your heart, comment. I don't care if it's mean or nice, whatever it is, comment. And that's the same thing on my streaming platforms as well. Because if you do listen to Bubba's Banter, I am on multiple streaming platforms, which is iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. I'm on plenty of others. If you just click the link down there in the description, you'll see exactly where I'm streaming at. But if you are using Spotify, please make sure you use that, because this podcast is hosted by Spotify for creators, okay? So please make sure you do that. Also follow me on my social medias, which is The Real Doc Dre, Bubba's Banter Podcast, and Bubba's Banter on Facebook. I would love you long time if you do all those things for me. Just hit the subscribe button, follow me, all those good things. But let's get into tonight's show. Let's get in there. All right, y'all. So let's get into tonight's episode. Tonight, I am still talking about straight guys. Yes, I'm still doing it. I know. Y'all gonna get tired of me. Y'all gonna get sick of me. Prepare to be sick of me.
Ooh, prepare to be sick of me. Prepare right now to be sick of me.
Like, that's what y'all gonna be, because I'm really just indulging into some shit tonight. But anyways, I'm doing a follow-up because I don't know if you guys saw my TikTok video. Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your motherfucking boy. I ain't gotta say no names, right? But I am, and it's your boy Bubba, and I got a question for y'all. So, if you listen to my recent podcast, The Straight Men Allure, right? Me and a friend were having a conversation today, and I was like, what is the thin line between giving someone a compliment and harassing? And so sometimes I feel like a lot of gay men kind of teeter that line of sexual harassment with straight dudes online. And I was like, man, I want to actually have a podcast about this, because, to just follow up with the whole straight men allure thing, because I do think that it's not just straight dudes pandering to, like, the gays, but, like, some of y'all really do be, like, some of y'all really do be fucking, like, borderline sexual harassing these motherfucking dudes, bro. And just to make it clear, like, I'm not talking about the straight dudes who know their audience, or, they're comfortable with their sexuality and shit like that. I'm talking about the ones who visibly make it clear online that they only like women and that's what they're into and things like that. And you just can't take no for no, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, get out this man's DMs. Get out this man's comments. He don't want you. He not gonna pick you, sis. Like, that shit is crazy to me. It's mind-boggling, actually. So, yes. Me and a friend were really having this good-ass conversation about this, because it really dawned on me about sexual harassment, because some of these motherfuckers be in the comments like, oh yeah, daddy, come in my ass in my mouth. Like, some of y'all be really, like, vile in some of these dudes, DMs and some of their fucking comments. And, like, I get it, like, to some degree, like, flirting is flirting, but, like, where's the fucking line? Where's the fucking line? Because I think when a guy is a straight dude, because this is what we're talking about straight guys. When a straight guy is, like, literally, like, his profile is showing that he is super into women. Like, he talks about women, he do all these things or whatever, and he just acts silly online. It does not give you the agency to like harass this guy because he's conventionally attractive. And I just, it's low key yucky sometimes when I see it, because sometimes I'll just be scrolling on a Shay, you know what I'm saying? Yes, I did say scrolling on a Shay. Anyways, I be scrolling through social media, and I be seeing this shit, and I'm just like, yuck. Like, you know how sometimes you just see something that give you the ick? Like, that's how it is. Like, sometimes I'll be seeing dudes say certain things on these guys' profiles, and I'll block the motherfuckers. And it's not, they didn't even have to say it to me. I blocked their ass because it seems so nasty. It just seems yucky as fuck to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I did say yucky. But the question that I'm posing tonight is that, what is the line when it comes to flirting with straight men? And the other question I have, or maybe this is the ultimate question, is why, when it comes to these type of topics, it seems like it's always involving a straight guy. So I want to start off with the basic question of it all is, why is straight men so desired, right? Like, we should probably start there because it's probably the most obvious. And I know, because I know some of you guys who think about it, even straight dudes who think about it, they think about it like, why are these gay dudes so obsessed with me? Why do they have a fascination with straight guys or whatever, or the women who pander their husbands? I know I talked about that last episode. Are wondering like, why are they so fascinated with this big hunky hunk guy? But I think, before anybody gets defensive, I do say that I think a lot of that shit comes from a place of some gay men not feeling man enough, seeking that validation, seeking, some type of authority over them, or something to model after, because they just never knew how to be a man, right? And I got severe daddy issues, and there's a lot of men who've come in my life, and I've had some toxic people come in my life over the years. And because me and my dad didn't have a really good relationship when I was a child, not that my dad wasn't there, it's just we didn't have that connection. And I was always seeking for the male figure, the male model in my life. I was always seeking that. And even now, almost 38 years old, I'm still seeking the male, model. And that's not a bad thing either, first off. But anyways, I don't want to ramble on. But I think these are things that happens is they seek this validation. This person may be unavailable. There's a multitude of reasons why. But I'm not saying, and I want to be clear about that actually. I'm not saying every gay guy is chasing after straight dudes, because I'm not putting my cape on for straight guys right now. I'm not doing that, FYI. I just want to make that clear too. I am not putting my cape on for straight dudes right now. But I'm really examining what's happening and why it's happening. And I think that the questions that I'm, asking are, are worth it, I should say. They're worth asking. And because I feel like the conversation comes up enough, and the running jokes online about all these straight guys, especially the powerlifters in the powerlifter groups, they always talking about how the bears are always in their DMs. And it's low-key embarrassing, because like, for someone who is a part of the bear community and who also loves lifting, and also I just like big bear guys as well, and masculine, all these things, I'm attracted to that, when I'm in those spaces, or I'm following someone on social media, they bring up the simple fact is that the bears chase them and the bears want them and all this and all that. And it's like, low key, some of y'all be giving out bisexual vibes anyways, or pansexual vibes anyways, but that's for another, topic for another day. But yeah. I shouldn't have said that, but it's true. But that's the running joke about the bears being in their DMs. And sometimes it just be thirsty ass dudes, especially those dudes that be like, overseas, like in foreign lands. Like, they be sending these dudes random ass pictures and dick pics and ass pics, and the Arabic lettering, and I love you, like, type shit. That's just kind of a normal thing, because even me as a gay man, when I post certain thirst traps, I get those same messages from guys too, because men are thirsty no matter what. You could be gay, you could be straight, you could be a trans man, you could be pansexual, you could be whatever. As long as you are a man, men are thirsty. We have it in our blood, in our DNA, to be thirsty at times, because we are the hunters, right? If you want me to get biblical in in these parts, we are the hunters. And so I think to some degree, like, it's a part of us to actually just go after what we want, and sometimes it can be a little bit too much. And so that's what I'm really trying to break down today. It's like, y'all doing too much. But there is reasons why I think some of y'all are doing too much. So I will say, like, I know sometimes you guys think in your head, like, I just wonder, because also I wonder. And again, there are multiple things that they may be attracted to. It may be the physical strength of a straight man. It may be everything that they associate themselves with as a straight man. Tying it to traditional masculinity. Maybe it's the emotional reserve. Maybe it's the confidence. There's a lot of things. And I know those things are not just exclusively to straight men, but culturally, because we have to talk about this from a cultural standpoint, is that from a cultural standpoint, this has always been identified with straight men, is, those things that I just said. And we've been taught and conditioned to associate those things with straightness. That's just what it is. So maybe the real question isn't that gay men are chasing straight men. Maybe they're just chasing the aesthetics or the image of what it is to be masculine or whatever. But that leads me into talking about this that I know is going to piss some of y'all off. And this is somewhat of a deeper conversation, and maybe I will tie this into another conversation later on in the season. But where does our idea of masculinity come from anyways? Like, I think back to movies, TV shows, advertisements, all those things. Like, who was our action heroes? Who was our football stars? Who was our military heroes? The cowboys, the frat brothers. For decades and decades and decades, it's been white men. It's been white men. Truthfully. And I know some of y'all is not going to like that, because y'all like, oh, he's bringing race into this now. So I know some of y'all are already like tuned off about this, but it's very strong but quiet. It really is. It's strong, quiet, tough. Like, it's a very Pacific, version of masculinity. It really is. And it's something that has been conditioned in our head. Again, I'm saying that word conditioned. It's been conditioned to find that attractive, to find that to be, superior. And that does tie into being white. I'm sorry. Like, you're just probably not going to like that. Now, I'm not saying this is white privilege. I'm not accusing you of just having this type of a privilege or whatever it is, because privilege is privilege. You didn't do anything. Because masculinity does exist in every race and every man, right? In every culture and all that stuff. But we have to look at historically how media has presented masculinity. And it's always been white people. And it's a particular image that we see over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Bodies and bodies and bodies and bodies. Y'all probably don't know that. If y'all watched Snowfall, y'all know exactly where I got that from. But anyways,
Lenny Carvel, him, her, him, bodies. They're all dead.
It's just what it is. It's a cultural landscape, y'all, and it's just something many of us grew up in, and we are having a hard time understanding it's something that has been so regurgitated so much over time that it becomes our attraction. And that's just what it is. Like, it's funny to me because I think about a lot of my straight powerlifter, friends on social media, and I've talked to a lot of them. And one of my homies brought up something that I found to be really funny, but truthful. Is he was like, you know what's funny to me is that my friends, like my black friends, they don't get the gay bear messages. They don't get the random ass pics and dick pics from the gay dudes, like the bears. It's always like, he's like, I don't know, is it because I'm white? And I was like, ding, 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 ding. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing for you, but to a degree, you have an aesthetic that has been historically pushed in so many gay white men faces since they were children that they find it attractive. And so when they see you, they're like, oh my God, you are a god. You are a fucking god. My homie JP Price. JP Price is he's a powerlifter, like strong ass dude. He has a gym in Kansas City called Strong Barbell Club. Sexy motherfucker. He's a sexy motherfucker, right? But this motherfucker look like Chris Farley, and a lot of a lot of gay bears find Chris Farley attractive because he has his big body type. You know, he's a bear, he's silly, he's comedic, you know, he has his jolly personality. And so JP kind of fits that, the aesthetic. He has a bear, he's masculine, he has a beard, you know, he's stoic, he's a good guy, personality wise, all these things. And I think that's a lot of reasons why, not besides just him having the aesthetic of a bear, people find him attractive because of what they saw when they were growing up. So he can't help that gay dudes, gay bears are going to hit on him like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just what it is. And, you know, I think about, this is weird to bring up, but, you know, y'all, I don't know if y'all remember this, like, but like, it wasn't unusual, and still to this day, actually, to see, you know, no films, no fats, masculine only, straight acting. Just think about that last phrase that I just said. Straight acting. Where the fuck did that come from? Like, gay people developed saying this fucking phrase, straight acting. What the fuck is it to act straight? What the fuck is it to act straight? That's weird. Do you think about that? That's a weird ass thing to come up with. Some unsecure, dumbass gay men came up with this term, probably, that they were straight acting, and probably not only insecure, but probably was in the closet and, you know, didn't know how to like deal with their own sexuality, and so they wanted to be more like the straight guys and didn't want to be seen out in public. And it could have been a bisexual man or even a pansexual man. You never know, because y'all all ain't shit. I shouldn't have said that, but y'all know what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it had to be somebody that did something, and I'm pretty sure the person was white, because I think we all have our shit. Like, you know, the black gays have DL and trade and shit like that. So I'm just saying, like, you know, going back to straight acting, it's just so weird that people did that shit, and it was almost at a point where it was like a compliment. It was like a compliment, like, oh, I'm straight acting, or oh, he's straight acting. What the fuck? That's not a compliment. Like, just say he's masculine. Why are you saying he's straight acting? You know, it's one of the things that I'm so confused about when it comes to the things that we as a gay community have, you know, developed, how we've kind of curated these type of, you know, actions and habits. And so when you think about some of the things that are happening and cultivating within our, you know, our universe, our culture, you know, we kind of are the culprits for the straight guys acting this way, the way that they act towards, you know, gay men when they're pandering to us and shit. So, yeah. But I think it makes me question if we have, you know, really started the generation of this idolization of like whiteness in masculinity, and how we've confused it too, because masculinity is masculinity. It has nothing to do with your race. Masculinity is masculinity, right? But I feel that a lot of gay men, and particularly white gay men, have, yeah, I did say that, they have, you know, cultivated this thing about, and it's more than just attraction, guys. I know someone's like, oh, you're just jealous because you're not hot. Because I know some gay man, some shady ass gay man probably out there listening to this or watching this saying, oh, he's just jealous. Oh, he's just jealous. He's not attractive, and that's the reason why he's not. You know, he's talking about this because he's jealous. And he's not getting the love or the attention. He's probably getting 300 likes on a photo. He's not getting the love. But like, no, you guys really have cultivated something based on your environment. And the community is not exclusive or inclusive. Sorry, the community is not inclusive as much as y'all want to make it seem to be. That's where I'm getting at. And before I move on, I do want to touch bases on the archetypes. And this is still the same conversation I'm just having in this segment part of the show. Is just that, like, archetypes is a real thing. Me and my homie Grayson were having a conversation over the weekend, and they brought up the fact of like archetypes and how they like certain type of guys and how they get caught up in certain type of people, certain type of persons and stuff like that. And I looked at them like, okay, they definitely speaking some truth, because the archetypes are very real. Most of y'all done seen so many, videos of me or seen me tweet about it or talking about it on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, social media in general, how I like blue collar bearded men. There's something about a man that uses his hands that makes me just turned on. I love a blue collar bearded man, bald headed preferably, but like, oh my God, it's something about a blue collar man. Or just even just loving a man, all types of blue collar work too, not just some, like all. But I love me a construction worker, a good construction worker, or a man that builds houses, or a carpenter. Like, oh, I just, you need a sandwich, baby, because I got you. I got you. I'm the housewife, low key. I think whenever I get my partner, I'm probably gonna be the housewife, low key. But no, I'm being serious right now. Like, I just find myself aesthetically attracted to men who kind of hold that lifestyle. And I'm not saying that just because they're blue collar, they're great men. I'm saying that a lot of blue collar men have like this aesthetic and personality, and a lot of that personality comes with like discipline and like, willpower and creative. Because I feel like building shit, just because you know how to build it, you gotta be creative with that shit too. And so it's just something about being able to build a house or build a building or whatever it may be that just seems attractive as fuck to me. So I like it. And so every archetype, people have their archetypes that they go for. Some love a bodybuilder, some love a power lifter, some love nerdy fat dudes. Some, like, there's these archetypes that people go for. Some black men, some black gay men go for the DL thugs and for the thugs and shit like that. Like, they like that shit. There's an archetype that every gay man chase after. And so I understand it to a degree of like finding yourself being attractive to somebody, not just because of who they are physically, but like the aesthetic and what comes along with that and what it does for you personally. And so I think that's a big thing to think about when it comes to, gay men pursuing straight dudes or whatever, right? And also, just to lean into this a little bit before I jump on to the next part of this, is that I think a lot of gay men nowadays, you're starting to see a lot of gay men get into these professions because they want to be attractive and they want to be representation of this aesthetic. I know so many gay men now who, are carpenters, or they're in blue collar, type of work fields, and like doing these things because there's various reasons why they're doing it. It's not just because they want to have the aesthetic. It could be because it's good money. It could be because it's just something they knew and it's a family tradition. It could be the aesthetic. It could be because they want to be deemed attractive or look more masculine. Because I do believe a lot of men choose work or career fields based off of how manly they may feel. So, who am I? But anyways, I do want to ask a question though. You know, when does pursuing someone become a problem too, though? Because I think I don't want to get too far away from the episode and not even bring that up, because finding someone attractive isn't wrong. Flirting isn't wrong. Expressing interest isn't wrong. That's how people meet. That's how relationships work. That's how relationships happen. The issue isn't the attraction. The issue is what happens after the attraction is not returned. And that is the problem. At what point does interest become entitlement? And that's another problem too. You know, if someone tells you, hey, I'm not interested, you know, if someone tells you like, hey, I'm not interested, and your answer is, oh, well, you haven't tried it yet, so, you know, you don't know if you're interested. Why the fuck are you doing that? No, stop. It's one thing to play around with like guys like that, but some of y'all really do be saying like certain things that it's just not acceptable, and like refusing to accept someone's boundaries. Like I play around with my straight friends. I got a couple of straight friends that I do this shit with, and they know I'm playing around with them, and they know I really don't want them that way. But the moment they tell me, hey, you gotta stop this shit, I don't like it. Like, is then I gotta stop, because they're not giving me their consent to play around with them like that anymore. And actually, I've ran into situations where like I've been cool with someone, and they're like, "Hey, like, you know, I'm cool with you and stuff, but like, can you not do this, because it actually does feel a little uncomfortable when you do it." And I was like, you know what? You're right. It's like, I don't mind when you make jokes, but sometimes I feel like your sexual jokes go a little too far. Like they go a little beyond like just like playful bromance banter. Sometimes I be wondering if you're serious. And I was like, oh, straight men don't clean a booty hole. I always run into that with y'all, because like, y'all don't. So no, I'm not eating your ass. You know, no, I'm not eating your ass, bro, because I know straight men don't clean a booty hole. But still gonna respect your boundaries if it does make you feel uncomfortable. But like at the same time, I think, you know, some people kind of like over exaggerate certain shit. Like some people don't know how to differentiate playing and like being serious. And so I have to tread lightly. And I know, and I'm saying this for y'all, that you got to tread lightly, especially in like multiple different settings. Like if you're doing the shit at work, stop it. I don't care if you cool with the person and you know the person, stop it. Because you never know that one day when you may go too far, you go too motherfucking far, and then you end up in HR with a report. So watch that shit too. But like, yeah, I feel like sometimes pursuit is a fucking problem. Like, we ain't motherfucking Nikki Parker. Is you Nikki Parker chasing after the Professor Ogilvy? No. If a motherfucker tell you they're not attracted to you like that and they don't want to have sex with you, accept it. And another thing I will say is the double standard is something that we do need to talk about right quick. And I wonder, oftentimes, do the same standards, you know, apply to everyone consistently? Because straight dudes all the time be trying to hit on lesbians. Oh, you just haven't had the right dick yet. Oh, you haven't had the right dick to dick you down to make you want to be with a man. That's all that is. That's all that is. That's why you're not with no man, and blah, 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 blah. Like bisexuality does not exist. It's like a really weird thing, you know. It's just crazy because I've seen and been in situations where I've seen straight men hit on lesbians consistently, and they've said no, you know, and I think most people would recognize that as it being inappropriate. And I think, you know, it's weird. Like I've had trans women hit on me all the time, and they consistently try to like get in my drawers, and I'm like, sis, like, you're a woman, I'm not into women. Like, yeah, you might have a part down there, but I look at you as a woman. That's who you are. I don't see you as a man. I see you as a woman, and I'm just like not interested in having sex with you. Like, can we respect that? Like, I've had this happen multiple times where like trans women would hit me up on Grinder, and like I would chat with them and be nice because I was just being nice when I should just hit the block button, like I would do with any cis male that I'm not attracted to, like whatever. But I was being nice, and they would like send photos, and I'm like, I'm not really interested in that. And then like I've had situations where I'm out in public and they hit on me, and I'm like, sis, like, boundaries. Like, I'm just not into women, cis women or trans women. I've had cis women hit on me, and cis women tend to be a little more violent about it because, or a little more antagonizing, not violent, but antagonizing, because I always get the, oh my God, what a waste of dick. What a waste of dick. Like, girl, you never had a shot anyways. You never had a shot anyways with me. Like, no. Listen here, you Bug Life built. Never mind. Nah, fuck that. Listen here, you motherfucking Bugs Life caterpillar built looking ass bitch. What the fuck? If I told you I'm not interested in having sex with you, or I'm not interested in you that way, get the fuck out of my face. And what you mean a wasted dick, bitch? You can't even get a man. I should not be going in like this because it's not that deep. But it's so fucking annoying that I get that so much from women sometimes. It's annoying as fuck. So I do wonder why isn't the standard, across the board, regardless of what the intent is, it should be the same simple, solution for everybody. If someone communicates that they're not interested, leave them alone. Whether it's because of their orientation, their relationship status, their personal preference, or whatever it is, leave them alone. Leave them alone. When I see white men on the apps and they say they're only into white men, I don't whoop them. I don't talk to them. I don't message them. Even men who say I'm into physically fit, I don't message them. If I see someone say I'm into this age group, I don't message them. I don't do it because they honestly put up a preference or a boundary or whatever. That's what they're looking for, and that's okay. It's nothing wrong with that. But like, some people just like, push their way into something or just want to shoot their shot because they think they're going to win. And it's like, no, sweetie, you're just not going to win that way. You're not. We also do have to talk about social media and how social media really has played this bigger part in why, this happens. Like, social media really has cultivated these aesthetics for certain people and certain things, and attractive people post content and they receive comments and the admiration and engagement, and everybody wants to have the admiration. Everybody wants the engagement because engagement equals money most of the times. And some creators intentionally lean into that shit, and that's why you have, typical gay baiting. And now the wives are into it too because it's creating engagement and it's creating money on social media, because social media nowadays is a big cash cow when it comes to making extra money. And so why not? If I don't have to physically meet up with these people, that's on the internet, why not just take their money? Why not create this paranormal, or parasocial, relationships with these people on the internet, having these motherfucking gay men thinking that they really have a friend in real life when they don't. And honestly, the internet is full of parasocial relationships in general. I've met some really cool ass people outside of social media, but I keep my social media friends, and I keep my real life friends. And not saying that my social media friends can't become my real life friends in real life. It's just that I tend to realize that I have to be cautious about who I'm cultivating a relationship with online. But again, they know that this shit, gets people, gay men, riled up. And I think because I call it out so much, I've had a few people get mad at me about it and, call me ugly and say, I'm just jealous because I'm not attractive like this person. It's like, it's not even about that. It's just like, why is a straight dude doing this on the internet, and why are we allowing him to do it? Oh, I'm just want to help him with his confidence. Fuck his confidence. Or if this help, I don't give a fuck about a straight man's confidence, especially when some of these motherfuckers be voting for. Never mind. Some of these motherfuckers be voting against y'all rights too, and y'all sitting up here giving these motherfuckers y'all money, y'all hard-earned motherfucking dollars, and it's the same people that be probably calling y'all faggots offline and probably also voting against your rights and don't give a fuck if you're able to live your life out loud as who you are. And y'all sit here supporting these motherfuckers. That's the shit that I be angry about. Because it's like, fuck these motherfuckers and their confidence. I don't give a fuck about them needing to feel good. What the fuck? Oh, now y'all care about men's mental health. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. I be hearing people, when I see gay dudes that be putting their motherfucking thick ass capes on for these straight dudes, because a lot of the times I think what happens is too, in the back of your motherfucking mind, you think you turn this man out. You think you gonna have a chance at sucking this man dick, or him sucking your dick, or you seeing something for free and you not paying for anything, and you creating these paranormal or parasocial relationships with these people online, because you know eventually one day you gonna get to see the dick, or you gonna get to put it in your mouth. And I know what you're doing. I'm not stupid. But anyways, the reality is that social media is making this shit tougher, and just like, what do we do about that? So I do want to ask this as well. Does intent matter? That's another question I have been wrestling with, because does intent actually fucking matter? Can someone, harass another person? Yes, I do believe that. But I don't think most people are waking up and being like, you know what, I'm going to harass somebody today. Unless they're a real stalker, But I don't think someone's waking up and being like, ooh, I want to eat this straight man's booty today. Because again, straight men don't clean their booty hole. But sometimes a compliment is a compliment. Sometimes, flirting is flirting. Sometimes flirting is harmless. It's nothing more than just that. Intent and impact are not always the same. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to know how to talk to someone, how you're delivering the compliment, how you're saying certain things to them, because sometimes it can be like a really fucked up situation to get yourself in with someone when you're delivering something to somebody and it's not intent to be the way it's being taken. And so, you have to understand that, because one compliment is probably not harassment, but if it's continuous shit and the person showing discomfort, and you just keep going, like, yeah, you're harassing the person, because again, I think I said this. If I didn't, I'm saying it now. Rejection is not an invitation for fucking, negotiation. If someone says no, no means no. There's nothing else happens after that. If someone says no, you go about your day. This isn't the beginning of you trying to, communicate someone to compromise their fucking boundaries or whatever it is. It's about respecting their boundaries and leaving it alone. This is not optional. Like, persistence, may look cute in the movies, but in real life, that shit's not cute. It's not. Like, no, motherfucker. If somebody say no, no, But, yeah, honestly, that conversation I had with my friend, it was like really, really good. I really, really have these conversations because everything is not just on the surface of like it just being a straight guy. Like, I think a lot of this shit does have deeper conversations tied to them. Like I said about masculinity and whiteness, how those things there's a duality in it. They're intersect. That's what I meant to say. They're intersectionalized in each other. And we don't realize how these things have been cultivated to be seen that way. There is a bigger conversation than just, oh, you only like white men, or oh, you only like black. Like there is a bigger conversation, and some of that has to do with the archetypes, the way you know you're raised, your environmental, spaces. Like I was born in Portland, Oregon, where it's 5% black, and although I did grow up in a black neighborhood, oftentimes people perceive me as only liking white people because they see me in these spaces that tend to be more white than black. But I mean, when you live in a state that's only about 5% black people, and most of the black community is these straight clubs, I don't want to go hang out with straight people. The fuck? Anyways, stop harassing people. Know how you could be impacting somebody. Real shit. So that's all I got to say. But anyways, it's the end of the show. I want to say thank you guys for liking, sharing, and subscribing. I really do appreciate you guys for fucking with your boy. This is episode, I forgot. Maybe I'll remember on the next episode. But I'm thinking it's episode 3. I've been doing so much content. Like, I just want to say shout out to you guys for watching all of my Bubbas React. I dropped 2 this week, and like you guys been watching them, and like I've been getting good feedback on them. So thank you guys for watching that and fucking with your boy. I got more content dropping. I got some more reaction videos dropping next week. I am going to San Francisco the 24th to the 26th or 27th. And so, yeah, I think I probably will do like a vlog out there, actually. That'll be kind of cool while I'm in San Francisco. Just do a little quick vlog. I won't do nothing too crazy, but I'm going for Dory Alley weekend. So, yeah, I know that's going to be a little crazy. And I can't show some of that shit on YouTube. So, it probably will go on like maybe Twitter or X or whatever it's called now. Maybe I can do a little bit of stuff, but like blur out stuff. We'll see what I'll do, but I know for sure I might just do a vlog while I'm out there. Just a little fun, quick one. It'll be kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, there's that. But I just want to say thank you guys for liking, sharing, and subscribing to my podcast. I really do appreciate this, guys. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, please. And also share. I didn't say that at the beginning of the show. Share this. Follow me on my social medias, which is The Real Doc Dre, Bubba's Banter Podcast, and Bubba's Banter on Facebook. And Bubba's Banter Podcast is on multiple streaming platforms. All you got to do is click the link down in the description, and you'll see exactly where I'm streaming at. But I am streaming on multiple places, which is iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. But if you're using Spotify, please make sure you do, because Spotify is my podcast is hosted by Spotify for Creators. I don't know why I fucked it up at the last minute. Anyways, I just want to say thank you guys again for fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? And I really do appreciate this. And I'll see y'all on the next episode. Peace.